got more shots than this shit, nigga. Try your luck. Let's go on beef. Nobody, nigga.
The hip-hop world is buzzing with tension, and fans are left asking one question. Why are rappers suddenly terrified of Pooh Shiesty? Over the past few weeks, whispers in the streets and on social media have turned into full-blown speculation. From shocking diss tracks to unexpected moves in the industry, Pooh Shiesty has made a series of strategic plays that have left even some of the biggest names in rap wary of his next move. The energy around him has shifted. What was once casual competition has become something far more serious, and insiders say it's unlike anything they've seen before. Sources suggest that Pooh Shiesty's recent actions have sent a clear message. He's willing to assert dominance in ways that catch his peers off guard. Social media reactions hint at fear, respect, and disbelief, all rolled into one. Clips of him in the studio, teasing upcoming releases, or even responding to rivals have circulated online, generating a frenzy of discussion. Every move is analyzed, every lyric dissected, and every interaction scrutinized. Fans are speculating. Is this just hype, or is Pooh Shiesty really changing the power dynamics in the rap game? Part of the fear comes from his unpredictability. Pooh Shiesty has built a reputation for making bold moves, often taking risks that others wouldn't dare. Whether it's through diss tracks, collaborations, or high-profile appearances, he's consistently proving that he doesn't play by the usual rules. And now, with this sudden wave of intensity, it seems that many in the industry are pausing to reconsider how they approach him. Allies are cautious, rivals are wary, and the entire scene feels like it's holding its breath. In this video, we break down the reasons behind this sudden wave of fear. We'll examine the recent events, analyze his moves, and show why Pooh Shiesty has earned a reputation that commands both attention and caution. From studio sessions that leaked online to behind-the-scenes maneuvers that only insiders know about, this is the full story on why rappers are taking notice, and why no one wants to underestimate him right now. The story isn't just about one rapper's rise. It's about power, influence, and the subtle ways that an artist can shift the balance of the entire hip-hop landscape. Stick around as we dive deep into the drama, the strategy, and the impact of Pooh Shiesty's latest moves that have everyone on edge. The rise of Pooh Shiesty in the rap game has always been marked by intensity, ambition, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. But in recent weeks, the energy around him has taken an even more dramatic turn. Industry insiders, fellow artists, and fans alike have begun noticing a shift, a subtle yet undeniable aura of caution surrounding the Memphis rapper. What was once casual rivalry and standard competition has evolved into a palpable tension, with some of the biggest names in hip-hop reportedly rethinking how they approach him. The question on everyone's mind is simple. What has Pooh Shiesty done to make rappers suddenly so wary of him? To understand the situation, it's essential to look at his recent actions both in the studio and on social media. Leaks, snippets, and behind-the-scenes footage have painted a picture of an artist who is not only creatively ambitious but also strategically aware of the dynamics of the industry. In one instance, studio clips circulated showing Pooh Shiesty collaborating with high-profile producers, experimenting with sounds that are far more aggressive and commanding than anything he's released publicly before. These sessions weren't just about making music, they were about making a statement, one that seems to have resonated deeply within the rap community. At the same time, his recent interactions on social media have added fuel to the fire. Whether responding cryptically to rival artists, teasing unreleased material, or simply posting photos and videos that hint at upcoming moves, Pooh Shiesty has mastered the art of keeping the public guessing. Each post is analyzed, each comment dissected, and every like or follow is scrutinized for hidden meaning. For fans, it's exciting. For other rappers, it's unsettling. In an industry where image, timing, and perceived dominance are everything, the perception that Pooh Shiesty is operating several steps ahead has left many on edge. Part of the fear stems from his unpredictability. Unlike many artists who follow conventional paths and release strategies, Pooh Shiesty thrives on making bold, unexpected moves. Diss tracks that appear out of nowhere, high-profile collaborations, and the strategic release of snippets all serve to keep both fans and peers off balance. This unpredictability doesn't just create buzz. It creates uncertainty among competitors who now have to consider the possibility that Pooh Shiesty could change the landscape at any moment. Insiders suggest that this new level of intensity is also tied to his confidence in his growing influence. Pooh Shiesty has built a loyal fan base that amplifies his moves, creating a feedback loop of power and perception. Each reaction from fans online reinforces the idea that he is a force to be reckoned with, while rival artists and industry figures are forced to respond to a presence that feels larger than life. The combination of creative innovation, social media strategy, and fan engagement has positioned him uniquely, not just as a rapper, but as a figure commanding attention and respect in a way that some peers find intimidating. The fear surrounding Pooh Shiesty isn't just about his lyrical ability or commercial success. It's about his timing, his strategy, and his capacity to influence perceptions in real time. Rappers are not merely reacting to his music. They are reacting to his moves, his presence, and the signals he sends. The fact that multiple high-profile artists have reportedly adjusted their release schedules, promotional strategies, or public interactions in response to him underscores the seriousness of the situation. In an environment where timing and perception are everything, even the hint of advantage can alter behavior significantly. Moreover, the stakes are higher than ever because of the nature of modern hip-hop culture. Social media, streaming platforms, and 24-hour news cycles amplify every action, turning small moves into headline-grabbing events. Pooh Shiesty's awareness of this ecosystem allows him to leverage it strategically. Every post, collaboration, or teaser is calculated to maximize visibility and influence. The result is a presence that feels omnipresent, keeping both fans and fellow artists constantly engaged and, for some, constantly on edge. In the coming months, the consequences of Pooh Shiesty's recent surge in influence could reshape relationships, collaborations, and rivalries across the industry. Artists who once felt secure in their positions may find themselves reassessing strategies, reconsidering releases, and recalibrating their public personas. The ripple effects extend beyond immediate competition. They touch on branding, fan loyalty, and even financial stakes, as the perception of dominance can directly influence streaming numbers, sponsorships, and industry clout. Ultimately, the question isn't just about why rappers are terrified of Pooh Shiesty. It's about what his rise says about power, influence, and strategy in modern hip-hop. This is a story about more than music. It's about understanding the subtleties of reputation, timing, and perception in an industry where every move is watched, analyzed, and interpreted. Pooh Shiesty's recent actions have created a moment that will be studied, discussed, and debated for months to come, highlighting the complex interplay between artistry, strategy, and influence that defines the modern rap game. The growing tension surrounding Pooh Shiesty didn't emerge overnight. It's the result of a series of calculated moves and high-profile actions that have elevated both his presence and his influence in the rap world. As he continues to make headlines, the perception that he's a figure to be reckoned with has only intensified. Industry insiders explain that his rise is a combination of talent, strategy, and an acute awareness of how to manipulate public perception, factors that have left many peers wary of engaging with him directly or underestimating his reach. One key element contributing to the fear is Pooh Shiesty's mastery of social media as a tool of influence. In today's music industry, platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter aren't just promotional tools. They are battlegrounds where reputation is established, challenged, and reinforced. Pooh Shiesty understands this dynamic deeply. Every post, comment, and interaction is deliberate. Leaked studio snippets, cryptic captions, and hints about upcoming projects create a sense of immediacy and unpredictability. For other rappers, this constant visibility generates pressure. Every move they make is scrutinized in comparison to Shiesty's, and that can create a psychological edge that's hard to counter. Another factor fueling apprehension is his ability to collaborate strategically. Pooh Shiesty has been selective in his partnerships, often working with influential producers, artists, and industry figures who amplify his reach. These collaborations are not merely musical, They are strategic power plays that position him at the center of multiple networks simultaneously. By aligning himself with influential collaborators, he increases both his creative output and his leverage over peers, reinforcing the perception that he is a dominant force whose decisions can ripple throughout the industry. His unpredictability also plays a significant role. Unlike some artists who follow predictable release schedules and promotional strategies, Pooh Shiesty thrives on taking unexpected actions. Diss tracks that appear without warning, sudden collaborations, and cryptic social media messages all contribute to an aura of uncertainty. For other rappers, unpredictability is intimidating because it disrupts established plans. When a peer can suddenly shift the narrative or alter the competitive landscape with a single move, it forces others to constantly reassess strategies and anticipate reactions, creating a heightened sense of caution and, in some cases, fear. Fan engagement amplifies this effect. Pooh Shiesty's loyal following reacts quickly and passionately to everything he does, turning every snippet, post, or studio session into a topic of discussion and debate. These reactions are not just passive, they actively shape perceptions within the industry. Fellow artists, aware of the influence of fan sentiment, are forced to consider not only Shiesty's moves but also the reactions they provoke among audiences. The combination of a strategic artist and an engaged, vocal fanbase creates an ecosystem where perception equals power. There are also reports that rival artists have been taking precautionary steps to avoid direct confrontation. Some have altered their release schedules, delayed responses, or refrained from engaging in public feuds to avoid drawing attention or escalating tensions. This cautious approach reflects the reality that in today's digital-first music industry, even minor disputes can spiral into global conversations. Pooh Shiesty's calculated presence ensures that his competitors must weigh every decision carefully, further consolidating his perceived dominance. The intimidation factor isn't purely psychological. It's reinforced by his music itself. Tracks that display lyrical prowess, confidence, and assertiveness send a clear message. Pooh Shiesty is aware of his position, unafraid of confrontation, and willing to assert his dominance when necessary. This combination of talent and strategy creates a perception of power that extends beyond physical altercations or public disputes. It's a demonstration of influence that is subtle, yet unmistakable. Industry analysts suggest that this moment is also a reflection of broader trends in hip-hop. In a culture where attention, influence, and perception drive success, artists who can manipulate these elements gain a significant advantage. Pooh Shiesty's rise is emblematic of this shift. It's not only about lyrical skill or commercial success, it's about understanding the ecosystem and positioning oneself as a figure who commands respect and caution. The consequences of this fear are significant. Rival rappers, aware of the potential for missteps or public embarrassment, are recalibrating their strategies. Collaborative opportunities are being weighed carefully, and even casual interactions are analyzed for potential implications. In effect, Pooh Shiesty's presence is reshaping how peers operate, demonstrating the real-world impact of strategic artistry and perception management. Ultimately, what makes this moment so fascinating is the combination of skill, strategy, and psychological influence. Pooh Shiesty has achieved a position where his actions create ripples far beyond the studio, affecting not just fans but also fellow artists and industry stakeholders. This is the story of power in modern hip-hop, how perception, strategy, and calculated risk can elevate an artist beyond talent alone. Pooh Shiesty isn't just creating music, he's reshaping the landscape of the rap game, demonstrating that influence can be wielded as effectively as any lyrical beat. In the next part, we'll break down specific incidents and interactions that have fueled this fear, revealing exactly how Pooh Shiesty has cemented his status as one of the most formidable figures in hip-hop today. One of the key factors contributing to this fear is his ability to dominate multiple fronts simultaneously, both musically and socially, in a way that few artists in the industry can match. Whether it's through sharp lyrical content, strategic collaborations, or social media maneuvers, Pooh Shiesty has created an ecosystem in which his presence alone commands attention, respect, and, in some cases, apprehension. A prime example of this influence is seen in his recent diss tracks. Unlike casual or reactionary disses, Pooh Shiesty's releases are calculated and impactful. Each track is designed not just to assert dominance, but to subtly manipulate the perception of peers and audiences alike. By timing releases strategically, teasing content, and leveraging his fanbase's enthusiasm, he turns a single track into a multi-layered statement. For rival rappers, the stakes are high. Responding incorrectly, ignoring him, or misjudging the situation could result in reputational damage or loss of influence within the broader hip-hop landscape. This level of strategic thinking is what sets Pooh Shiesty apart, making him a figure whose moves are not easily countered. Another factor that amplifies fear is his ability to cultivate and mobilize his fanbase. Social media reactions are immediate and intense, transforming even minor actions into viral moments. For example, leaked studio sessions or snippets of unreleased tracks often provoke a wave of fan commentary, debate, and support. This reaction isn't just noise. It has tangible effects on how other artists perceive their own positions in the industry. When a single post or teaser generates millions of impressions and ignites widespread discussion, the perception of power shifts in real time. Rappers who might have otherwise felt secure in their status are suddenly forced to reassess their strategies. The unpredictability of Pooh Shiesty's approach also contributes to the unease. Unlike artists who follow conventional promotional cycles or predictable patterns, he thrives on disruption. Unexpected collaborations, surprise announcements, and cryptic social media activity create an environment where peers can rarely anticipate his next move. This unpredictability keeps competitors on edge and creates a psychological advantage that extends beyond the music itself. When peers are constantly guessing and calculating, their energy is diverted from creative pursuits to defensive maneuvers, further consolidating Shiesty's perceived dominance. In addition to music and social media, real-world interactions have also heightened the sense of caution. Reports indicate that several high-profile artists have adjusted their schedules, collaborations, and public appearances to avoid direct conflict or confrontation. Whether these decisions are motivated by fear of public embarrassment, fan backlash, or strategic positioning, they demonstrate the tangible influence Shiesty exerts over the behavior of other rappers. His presence alone has become a factor that shapes the decisions of his peers, underscoring the extent of his authority in the contemporary rap scene. Furthermore, his artistic confidence is evident in the way he delivers his music. Lyrics that combine bravado, clever wordplay, and subtle jabs communicate not just talent but calculated dominance. Each verse, each punchline, and each tone choice signals a self-awareness of his influence and a willingness to assert it. This musical assertiveness reinforces the perception that Pooh Shiesty is not an artist to be underestimated, leaving competitors wary of underplaying their own moves or overexposing themselves in response. Industry observers note that this combination of strategic social media use, fan engagement, unpredictability, and lyrical power creates an ecosystem of influence that few artists can rival. The fray isn't simply about personal rivalry. It's about an intricate understanding of power dynamics within the modern music industry. Pooh Shiesty has positioned himself in a way that leveraged both perception and tangible influence, allowing him to shift conversations, fan sentiment, and competitive behavior simultaneously. This growing aura of dominance also extends into the business side of music. Collaborators, producers, and label executives have recognized the leverage Shiesty brings to projects. Strategic alliances with him can elevate careers, while missteps in dealing with him can create complications or missed opportunities. The ripple effect of his influence demonstrates that his power isn't limited to the miss. It spans social, commercial, and cultural domains, making him a multifaceted threat in the industry. Finally, it's important to note the psychological impact on rival artists. Fear, caution, and respect in this context are not about intimidation in a physical sense. They are about influence, perception, and the stakes of reputation. When an artist like Pooh Shiesty demonstrates the ability to shift audience attention, control narratives, and provoke strategic recalculations, it creates a form of power that rivals traditional metrics of success like sales or chart position. Peers are compelled to consider him in every decision, underscoring the depth of his impact. In conclusion, the fear surrounding Pooh Shiesty is the result of a carefully cultivated combination of strategy, unpredictability, and influence. His calculated diss tracks, strategic collaborations, adept social media management, and commanding presence have collectively created an environment where fellow rappers must tread cautiously. This isn't just about rivalry, it's about control, perception, and power in a landscape where attention and influence are everything. As his story continues to unfold, the music world is watching closely, recognizing that the rise of Pooh Shiesty may be one of the most significant shifts in hip-hop dynamics in recent years. The influence Pooh Shiesty wields over the current rap landscape has become impossible to ignore. What began as a natural rise in popularity has transformed into a calculated display of power that affects the behavior, strategies, and decisions of other artists across the industry. By leveraging every tool available, music, social media, collaborations, and fan engagement, Pooh Shiesty has created a presence that transcends conventional metrics of success. The fear surrounding him is less about personal rivalry and more about the strategic advantages he holds in controlling narratives, perception, and influence. One major factor contributing to this dynamic is the way Pooh Shiesty engages with his audience. His fan base is not only loyal but highly active, amplifying every snippet, teaser, or studio leak that he releases. When he posts a clip of an unreleased track, fans dissect every lyric, beat, and nuance, generating discussions that span forums, social media, and even mainstream media outlets. For rival artists, this level of attention creates a pressure cooker environment. Decisions about collaborations, diss tracks, or public statements are no longer solely based on personal artistry. They are heavily influenced by how fans might interpret or respond to any move in comparison to Shiesty's actions. The psychological advantage of this engaged fan network cannot be understated. It allows Shiesty to set the agenda in both public perception and industry dynamics. Collaborations have also been a key tool in cementing his influence. Pooh Shiesty has strategically aligned himself with influential producers, artists, and industry stakeholders who not only enhance his musical output but also reinforce his positioning within the rap hierarchy. These partnerships serve a dual purpose. They amplify his visibility while simultaneously signaling to peers that his reach is extensive and his influence is growing. The message is clear. Pooh Shiesty is a central figure, and any engagement with him carries both opportunity and risk. For other artists, the strategic implications are significant. Missteps could result in being overshadowed, misrepresented, or caught in unintended controversies. The unpredictability of his moves remains a defining factor in why so many are wary. Pooh Shiesty does not adhere to standard industry patterns or predictable release cycles. Surprise drops, cryptic teasers, and sudden studio appearances keep both fans and peers on edge. Their ability to maintain this level of uncertainty is itself a form of influence, one that rivals may find difficult to counteract without careful planning and restraint. Lyrically, Shiesty combines aggressive confidence, sharp wordplay, and subtle jabs that communicate not just artistic skill but strategic dominance. Tracks are crafted to command attention, not only from fans but also from industry peers. These releases function as both artistic statements and strategic maneuvers, reinforcing his position in the hierarchy and maintaining an aura of intimidation. For competitors, the challenge lies in responding appropriately without diminishing their own credibility, a balancing act that few are fully prepared to navigate. Industry insiders have noted that even labels and executives have become attentive to Shiesty's moves. The ripple effect of his decisions extends beyond personal rivalries to affect marketing campaigns, collaboration opportunities, and strategic positioning. A single well-timed track or social media post can shift the conversation, creating pressure for others to react in ways that maintain their relevance or public image. In this sense, fear of Pooh Shiesty is not rooted in physical threat, but in his ability to manipulate perception and influence outcomes in a high-stakes environment. Additionally, real-world incidents have contributed to this perception of dominance. Reports of confrontations, Heated exchanges and competitive interactions illustrate that Shiesty is willing to assert himself in both public and private arenas. Even minor disputes or studio disagreements become magnified through social media, reinforcing the idea that he is a figure whose presence and decisions cannot be ignored. These events, combined with his strategic online behavior, create a comprehensive system of influence that commands attention across multiple fronts. The psychological impact on rival artists is profound. Fear, caution, and respect emerge not simply because of Shiesty's talent, but because of his strategic mastery. His moves are calculated to provoke reactions, maintain attention, and ensure that his position is never challenged without consequence. This creates an environment where peers are constantly evaluating risks, adjusting strategies, and measuring their own responses against Shiesty's actions. In effect, he has created a form of influence that operates as much through perception and anticipation as through music itself. Finally, the cultural implications of his rise cannot be understated. Pooh Shiesty represents a new model of influence in hip-hop, one where strategic calculation, audience engagement, and unpredictability are as important as lyrical skill or commercial success. His ability to dominate attention, shape narratives, and compel both fans and peers to respond demonstrates a level of power that extends beyond conventional metrics. In this context, fear is not a weakness of his peers but a recognition of Shiesty's sophisticated understanding of the dynamics of modern music. In summary, Pooh Shiesty's current position in the rap industry is the result of a combination of social, artistic, and strategic mastery. His fan engagement, unpredictable moves, calculated collaborations, and assertive music collectively create an ecosystem in which perception and influence are paramount. Rappers are wary not because they doubt his talent, but because they understand the high stakes of navigating an environment where one artist can shape conversation, attention, and behavior with every move. As his story continues, it becomes increasingly clear that Pooh Shiesty is redefining what it means to wield power in modern hip-hop through strategy, presence, and influence rather than sheer force alone. The culmination of Pooh Shiesty's recent rise in influence has made it clear why rappers are increasingly cautious around him. By strategically leveraging every tool at his disposal, music, social media, collaborations, and fan engagement, he has created a presence that extends far beyond typical competition. His moves are no longer merely about beats or bars. They're about perception, strategy, and influence, reshaping the behavior of peers and the dynamics of the industry itself. One of the most significant aspects of Shiesty's dominance is his command over public perception. Every post, snippet, or cryptic message is designed to provoke discussion, debate, and speculation. Leaked studio sessions or short clips of unreleased tracks become viral talking points, with fans analyzing every detail for hidden meanings or hints at future moves. For other rappers, this creates a high-stakes environment in which missteps can quickly become public controversies or be interpreted as weakness. The psychological edge Shiesty gains through these tactics is considerable, giving him influence that extends well beyond the music itself. Collaboration and association further amplify this effect. By aligning himself with influential producers, artists, and industry figures, Shiesty increases both his creative output and his leverage. Each partnership signals a consolidation of power, showing that he is a central figure whose influence affects multiple spheres. Other artists must navigate these alliances carefully. A poorly timed diss, an overlooked collaboration, or miscalculated response could result in reputational or strategic consequences. In essence, Shiesty has created a web of influence where every move is calculated to maintain his dominance and ensure that peers remain cautious in their actions. Another element of his power comes from his unpredictability. Unlike many artists who follow predictable patterns for releasing music or interacting with fans, Shiesty thrives on surprise. Sudden tracks, unexpected collaborations, and cryptic social media activity keep both fans and fellow artists off balance. This constant uncertainty forces competitors to operate defensively, anticipating potential moves and adjusting their strategies continuously. The effect is a combination of respect and apprehension. Rappers are not simply worried about Shiesty's lyrical ability, but about his capacity to manipulate timing, attention, and influence to his advantage. Fan engagement continues to play a central role in this dynamic. Shiesty's followers are not passive observers. They amplify every action he takes, turning each snippet, post, or studio moment into a viral event. The intensity of this fan response ensures that every decision made by his peers is scrutinized against the backdrop of his influence. The perception of control he generates through fan interactions makes him a figure that is both respected and feared, as rival artists realize that their own moves are constantly being compared and evaluated against his. Additionally, Shiesty's lyrical content reinforces his dominance. His songs convey confidence, assertiveness, and strategic positioning, often containing subtle jabs or statements that communicate both talent and authority. These tracks function as more than just entertainment. They are statements of power. Fellow artists must consider the implications of these releases, as responding incorrectly could result in diminished credibility or public misperception. In this way, Shiesty's music itself becomes a tool of influence, shaping how peers perceive both him and themselves. The impact extends beyond music to real-world interactions and industry strategy. Labels, producers, and collaborators recognize his influence, understanding that working with him or responding to him carries both opportunity and risk. Even minor interactions can be magnified through social media, creating a constant feedback loop where perception and reaction are central to the ongoing narrative. The result is a network of influence that operates simultaneously in music, social engagement, and industry strategy, making Pooh Shiesty a multifaceted force whose presence must be accounted for at every level. Psychologically, this environment fosters both caution and respect among rival artists. Fear here is not rooted in physical intimidation, but in the understanding that Shiesty controls the conversation, attention, and narrative flow. His moves create pressure to act carefully, to anticipate consequences, and to navigate a landscape where perception can equal power. In this sense, his influence is both subtle and profound, shaping behavior and decisions in ways that extend far beyond the immediate music scene. Ultimately, Pooh Shiesty's rise demonstrates a new model of power in hip-hop. Talent alone is no longer sufficient. Strategy, influence, and the ability to manipulate perception are equally critical. By mastering these elements, Shiesty has positioned himself as a dominant figure, one whose presence generates caution, respect, and anticipation across the industry. His actions show that influence can be wielded as effectively as lyrical skill, turning every move into a calculated advantage. As the story continues to unfold, one thing is clear: Pooh Shiesty has changed the game. Rappers are wary, fans are engaged, and the industry is paying attention. His rise is a testament to the power of strategy, perception, and relentless ambition in modern hip-hop. Those who underestimate him do so at their own risk, as the influence he commands is as far-reaching as it is formidable. If you've been shocked by how Pooh Shiesty has shaken up the rap game, you're not alone. His moves, his music, and his strategic influence have left even the biggest names in hip-hop on edge. This isn't just about talent. It's about power, perception, and timing. And Pooh Shiesty is showing the world exactly how it's done. Don't miss a single update on the drama, rivalries, and behind-the-scenes strategies that are shaping today's music industry. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you're always the first to know what's happening. We want to hear from you. Which artist do you think will be most affected by Pooh Shiesty's rise? Could anyone challenge him, or is he truly untouchable right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation with fans all over the world.